Welcome, Guardians. Today is November 11th, 2022. My name's Telesto, and welcome to Telesto. It's certainly been an interesting week in Destiny 2, starting on Tuesday with hotfix 6.2.5.3. On Tuesday, the recent patch rolled out to fix shaders not working appropriately with the Festival of the Lost mech-themed armor. There was another fix for inaccurate rewards for the Authority Seasonal Challenge, and several changes for linear fusion rifles. In general, LFRs received increased flinch received from player damage, as well as an increase of 60% for flinch settle time. Both Arbalist and Lawrence Driver also receive reductions of 35% to their aim assist cones. For a deeper dive into those changes, I highly suggest Fallout Plays video, Did Linear Fusion Rifles Actually Get Nerfed? Tuesday also saw the exotic fusion rifle Telesto exhibiting some odd behavior, namely mimicking some exotic weapons effects and seeming to change daily. First, the bolts would climb to the sky for a bit before raining down void bursts. Wednesday, when the gun took over the official Destiny 2 Twitter accounts, it was copying Graviton forfeit style effects. Community manager Cosmo made a hand wavy "there's nothing to see here, no puzzles" post, but that hasn't stopped some in the community from speculation that Telesto started acting buggy 27 days before the new season. This happens to correlate to 27 different exotics receiving changes in Season 19, and we all know how Bungie likes their numbers. Just keep an eye on your Telestos and let me know if you notice anything fishy. You can tweet at me on Twitter while it still exists, at Danfinity, where the I's are L's. This week at Bungie, Sam Bartley helms this light update. Cauldron won the community map vote and will be live at reset for those venturing into trials this weekend. The endgame PvP playlist has been seeing declining numbers week over week this season, so be aware that some matches may be a bit more of a sweatfest. Good luck to all of you who venture there. Iron Banner Eruption will return this coming Tuesday. If you're after this season's Iron Lord title, this will be the final week of Season 18 in order to grind that out. Next week's activity rotations will be, for Grandmaster Nightfalls, you got the Glassway. Momentum Control returns with bonus Crucible ranks. The Deep Stone Crypt will be available for the Raid Rotator. Note, do not pre-farm Red Borders. These will not count for next season's crafted rolls. You've been warned. And finally, the Shattered Throne Dungeon will be available for Pinnacle gear. Now, join me for a conversation with Save the Blade. All right. Technical issues aside, hey, Save.
Hi. Wow.
So, once again, thank you for being on the show. Sorry for the technical difficulties. And now I guess we can act like we haven't had this conversation before for the last 10 minutes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Hey, don't you love it when technology decides, no, I don't want to work. All right. So now that we've had that preamble, tell the folks at home where they can find you on the internet, sir.
They can find me on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok over at Save the Blade. All of them is just Save the Blade. Thank the Lord. Because I don't got no time for somebody to impersonate me.
I mean, look, man, if you are you gonna pay the $8? Are you?
Maybe. Oh, God. I already knew that was coming up.
Dude, I see it as it's a business expense at this point. Like, yeah, you can write it off on your taxes.
I'm willing to take an L.
Yeah. But anyways, so we were talking about you getting into becoming a Sherpa before all of the technical. Yes. You had said that your journey in becoming a Sherpa kind of started when you had a bad experience in like an LFG and then decided and then learned from somebody who actually cared about what they were doing. what was the modus operandi, like giving people a better experience than what you had gotten in that first instance?
Well, for me, like when a person needs help and stuff like that, like I usually have them come in. I
Mm-hmm.
usually tell them like what the recommended thing depending per on activity.
Mm-hmm.
But then I let them get like that freedom to like say, hey, I like this weapon. Is this weapon okay? I'm like, all right, well, sure. And I usually give them like a bit of knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Um about like the mods and stuff like that and the weapons in case things go south. And I like for them to learn about things than like just flat out just like say play this and this
Yeah.
and you're good because
A bit of use whatever, don't apologize
hmm
mixed in with the with just situational encounter
oh
knowledge.
yes, like because like I really do feel like people can like play Destiny the way they want to
Mm-hmm. I feel like that is a conversation that we've been having in the Destiny community for a while. Like people generally are like, "Oh, I haven't tried GMs or I haven't tried like the raid yet because like it's difficult and stuff like that." But I feel like, and this has been said before in different ways, and I don't mean this to sound elitist when I say
go
it,
right.
but like it's not, there isn't just like one formula that fits the whole thing. Destiny isn't that difficult of a game. You just have to kind of like play with the formulas that work for you, and you can attack it from all different angles, which is something that I try to instill in people. Like,
Yes,
yeah.
no doubt, and that's something that I like to do because, like, like for this particular example, if I told everybody to just play Arby or Arbalist, some people don't like playing a weapon, some people do.
Yeah.
Mhm. You
Yeah.
know, I like to give people freedom.
Mm-hmm. How do you feel about the current sandbox of weapons that
Whew.
that's been updated over like season 18?
Windshinder is something that I use. Uh,
Buddy.
whew.
Okay. All right. So
They really buff Wishender. Like I really love this game. Like I have
I
not.
I have tried using it.
hmm
I've tried using it, but I never pull it back all the way apparently, and it
hmm
always screws me over. What
Oh,
are
I
what are
got
your
you. I
tips on
got you.
that?
Because like it like and like some of those instances, like like you don't want to break the shield
Mhm.
because like it's always like the ever going argument. Some people like the wave of Wishender, and then there's some people like, man, just play RB and that's it. And I have like my own take on it.
Yeah.
Like they're both like hella useful. Like
Mhm.
one's special and the other one is a energy weapon that rules all of anti barrier at
Mhm.
this point. But as far as how I feel about the weapon sandbox is pretty nice. Like I like there's more weapons that people can use uh in a season because if I were to go back to the anarchy and breach and clear days or even just
Mm.
anarchy before, like it was just or even Divinity 2 Izanagi's,
Mhm.
oof, like things
Anarchy
have
was
changed.
like a one-stop shop for
Oh
like
yeah, it was like you just
DPS.
yeah. And I remember when I used to LFG a lot, people, it was just, oh, anarchy or kicked. I'm like,
Oh, so it was the yellow horn of that of
mm-hmm.
that like
Yep.
corner. Ugh.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
So
Unfortunate.
nowadays, like, you can really just go around and play almost whatever. Like,
Mhm.
although it's only like an anti barrier, this season autos, like, I've
Mhm.
been messing around also with Quicksilver Storm.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because like you keep shooting the missile, like it just get old one stun, like, and that's part of the reason why I tell people like, hey, like if you don't want to use X weapon, like you can use this, you can use this, you can use
Mm-hmm.
this.
I usually.
I'm glad that they, they're making more weapons intrinsic. Like, they made the Monarch, intrinsic
Mm-hmm.
Overload, and they made Thunderlord intrinsic yeah, Overload too. So yeah. Like, I feel like it's okay. Like, I mean,
Mm-hmm. It really
I know
kind
I'm
of
all
it.
over the place.
Yeah. Well, no. It kind
Mhm.
of democratizes your. It it democratizes the play space a little bit, and I feel like that is something that does the sandbox a favor, so that you're not locked into specifically like you have to use Arbalist, you have to use you can't use glaives here, you have to use like you have to
Oh
use
yeah.
Heart Shadow, which nobody's ever said. And I'm going through my dim, scrolling over weapons, and my entire vault, whenever I scroll over something, just looks like Telesto. So because today's
To
Telesto day.
level. Oh yeah. Telesto.
Telesto gained sentience today, uh, as before this recording. But like when you, I like that you can share. You can be like, hey, what do you got? Like what weapons do you have? Let's see what we can work with and what can keep you
Oh yes,
alive.
all the time. Anytime somebody comes and like do games with me, I look at their loadouts. They're quite afraid, because like sometimes they have like these double primaries with
Mm-hmm.
like oh man, I could cover both champ mods and stuff like that, and I'm like, it's okay, like
Yeah.
like for me,
But
like
you look disappointed like a dad. Just
mhm.
like, okay, no, it's okay. That's cute.
No, no,
That's
no, no, no,
great.
no, no, no. I'm saying, okay, I'm like, I'm not gonna kick you.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. I'm not gonna kick you. I'm not gonna roast your loadout. That's not what
Mm-hmm.
I do here against people. Like, I literally just look. I'll be like, hey, you can. Do you have this, this, and this? And then I'm like, cool. And so,
Mm-hmm.
like I was like, to me, I feel like as long as that person can cover, I guess in the GM situation, as long as you can cover a champ mod, you can really have the freedom to do something else. And who knows if they're
Mm-hmm.
playing a loadout, like they'll be like, oh, okay, you can probably play this gun with this gun, but I guess we're not there at the loadout part because whew, there's
I
a bunch
know.
I like using.
Yeah, I've really been enjoying recently. Um, I've been enjoying playing some Arbalist mixed with like a glaive.
Ooh,
I have the Enigma that I usually pair with it. That way it's double special, and I can weight the heavy with my different finders and everything. I can kind
mhm.
of weight heavy drops using that, because if you're using special, it's not going to spawn special as much, so it's got to spawn something else. So you're kind of forcing that heavy brick out. Do you have
Mhm.
any like tips and tricks like that you would say that you would give to like listeners at home who maybe are trying to break into like in-game PvE stuff?
Oh, okay, yeah. My tips is like, like for me, like I will recommend like going to like a Twitch chat and joining up on people's communities, like
Mm-hmm.
because at least for me, like when I see like new faces and stuff like that, I always want to make sure that they're having like a great time.
Yeah.
It's especially like one person who is like my mod, like he was a person that used to always play solo.
Mm-hmm.
Um my man O'Malley. He used to play solo all the time, and I remember I met him through another another mod in my community.
Mm-hmm.
Um, by name Renita. She met him through him.
Yeah.
I remember just he'll come in like and he said, he got to know me and stuff like that, and I was doing helps and like and he will always have like his loadout that what he likes to use and
Mm-hmm.
and I remember just helping him that day and
What was the loadout that he was using specifically? Do you remember?
Oh shoot, this is probably back when. You know what? I'll probably take you. I'll probably take you back to Light Blade.
Okay. Like the first time it came around?
Oh, first, yeah, because like he had his double primary and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that, and then oh, as a matter of fact, no. Oh no. There's a loadout actually. Glassway. Let's go back
Okay.
to Glassway
Okay.
last time. Okay. There was a exotic because he is a warlock. He is like a warlock main.
Mm-hmm.
It was called Seeking Filaments.
Okay.
You know, it gives you like the overload grenade.
Mm-hmm.
Because like and he did not know he can do that with like any weapon. So
Mm-hmm.
when Rockets was like oh well, I guess he was using Galley with that exotic,
Yeah.
and he fell in love with it. And every time that like I took him like under my wings to like help him because like you know he's pretty grateful for me. Every time we used to play Glassway, he used to always have the Seeking Filament Galley loadout. I was like, all right. And he used to just wreak havoc with it. I was like, oh man, you killing it. Like,
that's awesome.
yeah, but lately, but my advice is like, you know, just go inside the community, like, you know, get to know people and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so many kind people like that
Yeah.
do this, like yourself and many other people. Like, I feel like just to stray away from like LFG because like these days I rarely use it, and you know I try to like get people inside the chat to you know do some things because there's some many people that who I help now like they come shoot through and like get like the help here
Mm-hmm.
because they know I'll take care of them.
What is a loadout that you've been enjoying running this season?
I ain't gonna lie.
Okay.
Although there's well, I could give you each. Is it each character, or is it just like that one loadout? Like I could just say like, hey,
You know what? If you wanna do one for like what's your primary character that you run?
well, actually, well, if we're going my hunter, I'm literally it's literally just Assassin's Cow
Yeah.
and 1-2 punching, literally
Everything.
everything. Art 3.0 is bust tit. Oh my god.
If there's any developers listening, don't listen. Don't.
Oh no.
Put earmuffs on.
Yeah, like, it's just the fact that like they did such a good job with Arc 3.0. Like for me, like at least for like the Assassin Cowbell, the fact that you can just sit and punch dodge, and going invisible. So it's like not only you have all that damage resist from dodging, a fragment, and all this stuff, and you're going invisible from finishers and stuff like that, made it like you know like the most powerful thing, at least in my opinion, right now because I've been seeing people like speed run it on the same subclass, you know, like and you know they got the fantasy right, I guess, you know, with this becoming my favorite thing, which is the whole W subclass, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, Assassin's Creed is something I've been using like a lot in these GMs because I don't. To me, I'm so much of a solo player these days to where like you know when I am doing like the helps and stuff like that, you know I'll tell like the person like to be in like good position, and I'm out there in the woodworks just punching and going to bid on every ad, especially like my disgrace runs too. Where like the start of the room, like I'll just go punch one ad and they just wonder, how are you doing all of that?
Do you feel like doing, because I had Shield Maiden on a couple weeks back, and like we were kind of talking about low man stuff. Do you feel that running these encounters solo helps you understand the mechanics not only of the encounter but the timing of it so that you can help more people?
Perfect. I love saying this. This is part of the reason why this is part of what like ignited me to like do like a lot of the helps that I do anyway, even from like doing a single one or I'm doing
Mm-hmm.
the doubles with like with viewers and stuff like that. I literally do because I come from like like um me always playing solo, like in this game, and like I used to do a lot of stuff solo, and I watch a lot of like awesome gamers do these and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like but yeah,
Who are some of the
prime.
people that you watch? Who are some of the people that you watch?
Well, it's a whole lot. But if I can tell you right now,
Mm-hmm.
I know I watched Esoteric do a few
Yeah,
ones.
that's a big one for me too.
Him, Vendetta, and of course, ATP are all the players. Like
Mm-hmm.
those some of the people that I, you know, watch. But there's many more people that do these things. But like, for me, yeah, I primarily run them solo is because I feel like it's like a challenging thing to do in the game at this
Mm-hmm.
moment, and it was for and yes, it is for me to like learn the mechanics of things, learn what stuff spawns, so
Mm-hmm.
that way when I do these helps and stuff like that, I can say, hey, you can go do this, and this. Like, my Exodus Crash solo, taught me a lot about like where the ads are at or the positioning. So
Mm-hmm.
like
Helps you with awareness more.
yeah, heck yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because like like because when you do like some of the like I guess like so much damage to the boss, like ad
Mm-hmm.
spawn,
Yeah.
and like it taught me a lot about like the whole ad spawning and stuff. And so like in a 3-person scenario, I usually um at least like in a fire team, like because like I usually have like the person or even like myself, I'll probably be the dead person. Oh, we just go linear fusion the guy,
Mm-hmm.
and then the ads are gonna come over there, and then that's how, and it kind of makes the run like slightly easier,
Mm-hmm.
and I like putting myself in these tough situations if I am in the last person alive. Many times before, like like people have like clips of me on like clutching it out, like like
Mm-hmm.
because I love those moments because that's just what makes GMs fun for me too. So
Yeah.
um
Do you
yeah, because
uh
I also ever don't want to ever make a person who I'm helping like feel
mm-hmm.
bad if he or she dies so much,
Mm-hmm.
because there's
Do
been
you feel
times where
do you feel that's on that's kind of the responsibility of like the Sherpa is to like take that responsibility on?
like yeah, cause most times like me myself, like in my I have like my own set of rules in my head
Mm-hmm.
that I follow. So that way I am a Sherpa because Sherpa are people who help people and
Yeah.
not get mad at them if they like I'll be like, all right, you know what, it's cool, and then maybe next time,
Ideally.
yeah, I like I got this, but that maybe next time this does you shouldn't do this and that, and then I'll just go and just do it, like
Mm-hmm.
there's plenty of times where like revives was lost, and I was like, all right, I got this. Oh, and actually, I can just give you an example too. This happened in my Light Blade run.
Yeah.
I have one of my awesome family friends, like
Mm-hmm.
guy who said we got sprayed by the boss
Okay.
because usually Light Blade boss is just splash damage city.
Mm-hmm.
Um And usually, if you're like behind like these little pots around the map, and you're like
Mm-hmm.
getting hit with splash damage, well, he got splashed, and then like the person that was helping me got smacked, and and my my face was just like, oh, we're getting the dub,
Yeah.
like like
We're doubling
like
down. We're committing to this.
yeah,
Yeah.
and and as I'm doing this, I'm here telling the person like hey, like this was you. This is what you should do next time, and yeah, because it doesn't matter to me. Like I said, if they if they lose like rebuys and stuff, like I'm going to get the dub. I'm pretty
Yeah. You're pretty tenacious in that effect.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any? Oh man, so when I've been running stuff, I keep kind of timers in my head for different things. Like when you're on the spacewalk of Deepstone Crypt, it takes 12 seconds for one of those blades to come around.
Mm-hmm.
So every 12 seconds when one passes past you, you have 12-second gap in order to get back through that. And there seems to be like that kind of like weird connection throughout most of the game where you have like with the final boss in Prophecy, there you have 12 seconds to attack him where he is and then he moves. Like, do you have any kind of like weird esoteric timers that you keep in your head of like, oh, I know exactly when this happens. Like 7 seconds this pops off.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have an example of one?
Let me see. Do I have an example? Of that situation, that same situation where it's just
where like you can kind of read it to a T. Like it happens so much, and for whatever reason, your brain just kind of grasps onto that little nugget, and you're like, oh yeah, when you pass by here, that blade rotates around every 12 seconds, so you have like a little bit of a window.
I could probably go to like light blade when I'm like juggling him I know when he jumps up, I know when he decides he wants to smack me.
yeah.
Like cuz like I've been playing a lot of at least in light blade, I've been when I'm not on my hunter, I'm on my Titan spamming storm grenades.
So what all is your loadout involved there with light blade? Like, do you like get up in his face with a glaive and guard? Because that is
yes. At one time, I actually played a Wishender and a glaive. Actually,
okay, all right.
Oh no, because like the reason why was because I guess I had somebody come in my chat. I don't know. It was like I guess it was just like talking about where Glaive stands, like, oh, Glaive's not being used anymore. I was like, well, that's because it's not a mod, but they're still really good. And all the damage, and like Glaives have major damage resistance. I tell you.
Oh yeah, like, you can hold it. You can hold it up.
Yeah.
And guard damage from Golgroth's eye blast.
Oh yeah. I mean, oh yeah. I used it one time to hit the revives and stuff. So. I mean to save people, but when it comes down to the whole light blade situation, I was just there just guarding his blast. I was just like, oh, I get to throw nades at you, lightning grenades at you, and guard. Shoot. Yeah, but I did as a meme and a joke because I love memeing and because like at least these days GMs is not too difficult. Not trying to stray to anybody like
yeah. All right. I think that's pretty fair to say when it comes to like, because we are in the midst of like a massive power creep situation.
Yeah. Like we are strong as hell now.
Yeah.
Like to me, like I feel like you can really particularly go with like any cool loadout and you'll make it like, you know.
Yeah. You can kind of use whatever you want and in order to like get the win. I've been going through and soloing the dungeons.
Oh yeah, season. I saw. Congrats on the grass dungeon. I see the load. I was like, oh wow, okay, he went sunbed. Okay, okay. Oh,
so restoration, like even after they bopped it, is still super strong.
Oh yes, and I tell people, restoration is a strong keyword.
It's getting another hit here soon, and understandably, because like it is still a powerful facet of the solar subclass.
Oh yeah, it's probably like it's the reason why like people think that people are saying, because I do believe this like myself, quite literally, like why well is actually really good.
And when we did the Sherpa. When we did the Sherpa conversation a couple weeks back, like that was part of the conversation too, where they were like, you know, it sucks, but that's going to have to get bopped too. Like in order to kind of like level out to add to the difficulty ceiling.
Oh yeah, for me, like I will I would love for things to be. I guess I'm just a simple person. All this stuff, like I
Mm-hmm.
just I want everybody to enjoy end game. Uh, I wanted to be like aspirational and give us a meaning of why we do
Mm-hmm.
these end games, which is like GMs do very well. I really do much well love the way how like grandmasters reward
Mm-hmm.
people with like a bunch of like shards and materials, and I
Yeah.
wish every other in-game activity follows suit by that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, because as you know, GMs is like my bread and butter content. I
Yeah,
love doing them.
that's your thing. Like,
Yeah, like I love doing. I mean, I do all of PBE.
mm-hmm.
I love my raids. Um, and I loved all the other things, but grandmasters is one thing I always get like excited for every season,
Mm-hmm.
and when they go away, I'm just like pretty sad, like
Yeah, yeah. Like it's I have I have a piece of paper here that has like
mhm,
yeah, yeah. So I mapped out the seasonal progression. I think I showed this on
mhm,
the PVE Sherpa panel a couple
mhm,
weeks back, where it's like I kind of know what I'm talking about and who who I'm talking with based on kind of where we are in the season at this
uh-huh.
point. Um and it's like it's cool to know that, but it also kind of takes a little bit of the mystery away with like now that I've broken that down and been like, oh, oh yeah, like everything is kind of like wrapped up by this time for a thing. Um
Mhm.
when it comes to GMs, I do feel like they come they come kind of at the right time, but there's and they don't overstay their welcome necessarily, but it definitely feels like, oh, okay, this is just like another thing for you to catch up on later.
Oh yes, pretty much. Like
Mm-hmm.
to me, I feel yeah, like I do agree with like the barrier of entry to enter GMs. I guess
Mm-hmm.
that's what you're saying.
Kind of
Oh,
like
mhm.
you definitely need to be a certain base in order to start them. The game
Yeah,
gate
yeah,
keeps you, not anybody else.
yeah.
And so it's understandable to give people time in order to hit that level.
Uh-huh.
And so like what is it? Is it about like 8 weeks in? That's normally when they say, okay, GMs are open to everybody now. But
Hmm. Oh yeah, cause I guess like one of the only thing in my opinion that I am I'm not so okay with is that like like when a new player wants to do GMs, like the person's like gets to the, let's say for example this season like 1595, and
mm-hmm.
he can only see or she can only see one GM because
Yeah.
they don't have a base seal conquer.
Mm-hmm.
And cause I kind of understand why they the took away you can play the GMs like where you can see all the GMs
Mm-hmm. That node.
3 weeks till the end of the season, because we were farming it. I mean, it was
Mm-hmm.
probably literally the best material farm, but they just need to find another way to get new players to play GMs,
Mm-hmm.
like or to get that base seal conqueror in a way,
Mm-hmm.
so that way they can gild it, because
Yeah.
nowadays there's people like, oh, that's a cool title, how do I get it? And I had to tell them like, hey, you can only see this
You got six
GM.
weeks?
Yep. And it's almost like if they miss like a week or two or something, then
Yeah.
they can't get it till next season. And then because there's like a triumph called Total Conquest where you have to do 6 different GMs,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like they either change that or just find a way. I don't know. I just want to make it more.
Yeah. You want to make it so that more people are able to it's kind of like a roller coaster.
Mm-hmm.
Like at the roller coaster, they always have the like you must be this tall to
Yep.
ride the ride, and like instead of it like I said before, instead of it being a person that tells you that, it's the game that tells you that. When it comes to the Conqueror seal, I can see people arguing against like, well, no, it shouldn't be available like on the first day, but like those people tend to be gatekeepy anyways.
Oh.
So like,
I tell you.
sorry, I'm getting a little bit more spicy on that one, but
you're chilling.
but the overall experience, yeah, I agree. I think if you are that tall to ride the ride, you should be able to unlock that node should be available to you so that you can get Conqueror, and then after that be treated just like anybody else, where it goes away and you have to go week over week.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I can kind of dig that.
Yeah, but I'm always glad to see them always test things and stuff like that. That's why I just I let things play out, and then I'll give my input, because I know I could be pretty. I mean, this is for myself. I could be pretty bad at like giving like takes. That's why nowadays I literally just look and see, let them try things, and then be like, hey, this worked. This doesn't work.
So, I guess to kind of like wrap up here, like I said, today is Telesto Day, and yesterday we had this kind of this event that has gone on that's been like Telesto is either broken or designed to be broken right now.
Oh,
what's your
I'm
take?
Scared. Okay,
you're scared.
Okay.
It has seemed to gain sentience.
No. I got you. When I first seen a tweet from like Paul Tassi about this whole Telesto stuff, and I'm hearing Asacross finding like doing like little puzzles, I guess, or doing stuff. Like I mean, right now I'm thinking like, hey, okay, this is okay. Everyone's pretty like bored right now. Okay, but then I seen Bungie tweeting this, and I'm just like,
well, yeah. Today we had the interesting conversation where it was like, oh, like I am become God, basically is what Telesto is saying. It as per the Bungie accounts for Destiny 2.
Yeah, I'm looking at this stuff and I'm just like, wow.
Yeah, it's
Telesto has been such a weapon over the years. It is.
Yeah, it is definitely been a thorn in people's side, and it's interesting to see it kind of like take on this meta approach. I almost wonder if there's any like sort of secret thing that we'll end up getting like in the next couple weeks before the end of the season, in order like on the order of like some sort of whispery kind of thing.
If it's something, that would be awesome, because to be honest, I missed some of the cooler stuff that we used to have in game, like Corridors of Time.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that thing. At least, the mystery behind it, like those, like these community events, like they were so cool. Like, and even the one with a Fell Winter that very next season, like, yeah, I wonder where that went. I don't know. I would love those things, but but it's kind of cool that like like this stuff is happening right now, and like it's just fun, like just seeing this stuff. So like if it's something, if it's not, like it was at least cool,
Exactly. Well, Sabe, it was wonderful to have you, man. Thank you so much for hopping in today. I know it was last minute.
And thank you. And excuse myself, man, because quite nervous, like, and then like my thoughts is like pretty much all over the place, But thank you for having me.
Absolutely, dude. Anytime. Tell the folks at home where they can find you on the internet, sir.
Alrighty, you can find me right over at the Twitch, Twitter, the YouTube, the TikToks, the Instagram over at Save the Blade. They're all the same.
Before we close out the show, I just wanted to say, I know that there's a lot of uncertainty on the forecast ahead when it comes to real life, social media, and the Destiny community, whether it's about the player fatigue, personal accountability, or other dramas. But I'm glad to be a part of your week and hope that those clouds don't hang too low over your heads. If this places a positive influence on you and the communities around you, I've done my job here. My name's Danfinity. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram and the TikTok at Danfinity, where the eyes are L's. You can catch me 3 days a week on twitch.tv/Danfinity. I'm going to be doing some God of War this month, but Sunday helps are still on the docket. If you'd like to support the show, remember to rate and review on your podcast platform of choice. Anything you say helps us in the algorithm. And finally, this show is listener supported. So if you'd like to give a few bucks a month to keep the lights on, head on over to coffee.com/Danfinity. That is ko-fi.com/Danfinity. All links are in the notes for the episode. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you find Telesto.